So many years later, we are in a new century. Your message is still alive, but your energy is still alive. Can you tell us why are you in Virginia now that we are starting November?
Well, I am here because we want to reach out to people, especially people in the Latino community, why it is important for them to vote. I'm here canvassing and helping Jeremy McPike, who is running for the Senate. We know that in the area that he represents in Virginia, there has been a lot of anti-Latino, anti-immigrant kind of a sentiment, and that people their lives have been damaged, and many people have had to leave because of this hatred that has been, directed at them. And so people want to see new representation. They want to see somebody there that's really going to help the community, work for the community.
I know this morning you were talking to a group of very young people, people for whom probably you actually are a historical figure, but I can put myself in the mind of a teenager saying this great figure that they read about, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month in high school, and all of a sudden she is in front of them and she is encouraging them to be engaged in the civic world out there in the streets. What is the feedback you get from them? What is the energy that you find there?
Well, we find that they're kind of a little timid, because this is the first time some of them have done this kind of work, but they do want to see changes. Their families have been victims of so much of this racist rhetoric that has been attacked, because when it's directed to, they say it's directed to undocumented people or immigrants, it actually affects all of us. I mean, my family's been here for many, many generations. My great-grandfather was actually in the Civil War. On the Union side, because he was born in New York. And yet, because I am brown and, my children, my grandchildren, we all get affected by this anti-Mexican or anti-immigrant kind of rhetoric that's out there. And these young people, they feel that, and it hurts them. And so I think it also encourages them at the same time that they're willing to volunteer along with all the other volunteers to come out there and do the hard work during the elections, which is going to people's doors to talk to them, to tell them why it's important that they get involved in voting. And a lot of times people don't realize that their vote will make a difference. They don't feel that their votes matter. And so of course that's the kind of work that we have to do. And we like to tell the story that in the election when Governor Terry McAuliffe was elected, that in the state of Virginia, even though the population is very small, it's only the Latino population, 6 or 7%.
Well, yeah, the Latino population is 8, but their voting segment is like 5%.
Yeah. But yet, there were 63,000 Latinos that voted for the Democratic Party, and Terry McAuliffe got elected with 53,000 votes. So we can say that the Latino vote actually, put him over the top to win that election. The same thing happened in Colorado with Senator Bennett and in many other places. And so our Latino community, they don't really understand the kind of power that they have. And so we have, many states where they can really decide the elections. Well, the message is that unless we do, vote, every one of us get out there and vote, the people that are really doing this hateful rhetoric against immigrants and Latinos will continue to get represented. They have to understand that those decisions that they make, when they're elected to office, affect our families every single day of our lives. And we can get that message through. And the other thing is that we like to tell them not to be intimidated by the ballot. Sometimes they get that big ballot, and we have a saying in Spanish, no quieren quedar mal. They don't want to make any mistakes. And so they figure, oh, well, if I don't mark the entire ballot, then, I'm not doing the right thing. And so they get intimidated. And so we want to say, look, when you get that ballot, you mark what you know, that you're sure of. You don't have to vote every single thing. It's good if you can to get informed and ask for help. Go to the people that people in your community, some of these civic organizations, your labor unions, and get some guidance and get some information on how to vote. But the main thing is to do it. We were just in North Carolina where they passed a very bad law there. It's House Bill 318 that is even going to prevent people from using their identifications from their country, their national country, like what they call the matriculas, to prevent them to use that as an identification.
Matricula consular.
La matricula. And that's such a very mean thing for them to do, because people need those IDs to be able to rent a house or to be able to, to turn on their utilities at their places that they need to open up a bank account. So
I told you off camera that my Republican friends are going to be extremely upset because I'm talking to you about this, and you are supporting the Democratic ticket and all that. And you said something interesting, which is a good message for my Republican friends, which is, well, you know, the way they are behaving or something like that. Can you articulate that message?
well, yes, I think it's a shame because there's many in the Republican Party, the leadership of the Republican Party, that should be giving a better direction to the Republican Party, are kind of going to the extremists. You know, they're taking their talking points from the Koch brothers, you know, in denying climate change and going around the country passing all of these anti-immigrant laws that are going to hurt them in the long run. They have to understand that message that the numbers of the Latinos are just going to grow more and more. You have 50,000 Latinos that turn 18 every month in the United States of America. 50,000. I mean, if that isn't kind of a scary message for those that continue to attack people of color.
Dolores Huerta has always been a Hillary Clinton supporter.
It's because she was very connected with the Latino community, and she was very supportive of immigration reform, and of course very supportive of women and feminists, and this is why I supported her. And I do think that she really has the experience. She's extremely intelligent. Hillary is a very, very smart woman. She really knows how to get things done, and I think she's going to be a really great president for everybody.
But let me tell you something. We love you. And I know a lot of people in this country, no matter their ideological camp, they respect you and they love your work. Thank you for being in Virginia with your civic engagement campaign, and God bless.
Oh, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.